welcome to my review of Raw that aired on the 21st of October?
20th.
20th? 20th? I'm technically watching it on the 21st, but it aired on the 20th. And yes, Raw kicks off, the cell is lowered. Come out, good little plug for the Hell in the Cell match. Standard procedure, but actually quite a good little, actually got me quite excited for it. Seth and Orton get a little bit of a time on their mic after a little tension between them last week. Seth really goes overboard with his undisputed future of the WWE. And the fact that he's going to be in the main event of Hell in the Cell. Orton's not happy with this. They had their little tit for tat last week. And then Triple H is like, boys, don't make me turn this wrestling ring around. You're both in the main event. But who is actually in the main event, we're not sure. But a huge stipulation has been added to the Cena-Orton match, where whoever wins will be facing Brock Lesnar. So there is not a single person alive that wants John Cena to win that match. For once, everyone will be cheering Randy Orton. And especially because, oh my god, it came out of nowhere! I love those memes, they're just taking over the world. People who are not even into wrestling are seeing them and they're hilarious. I have a slight issue with this though. So, their matches decide who is #1 contender. A match that Randy Orton just asked for, and a match John Cena had to lose to get into. So if Dean Ambrose had been lucky enough to lose, he would have the chance to become champion. It's a slight, like, favoritism. The loser match gets to go to the championship. The loser match. These are the two losers. Of the winner, Dean Ambrose, who won the match last week, just gets a chance to fight Seth, which he really wants, and Cena apparently has given up on, because he's a quitter. Never give up, unless you're given a title match instead, and it goes... That's my only slight issue with it. The matches, but don't get me wrong, these are the matches I want to see. I want to see Ambrose and Seth, that's going to be one hell of a match. And just because of Randy Orton's recent popularity on the internet, I'm excited for this, and I'm excited for Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton. That could be a good, fresh match. So yeah, good opening to Raw. Well done. Out of nowhere! And we have our opening match, which is Sheamus and the Usos versus Stardust, and with much cheering from the crowd, Mizdow. Because they had a little play, it's like, who's it going to be? Crowd cheered when it was Mizdow. Can't say it was like an outstanding match, but it was a genuinely solid match. Nothing I can really complain about, but no amazing, huge spots, but yeah, just solid, good wrestling. Definitely not bad for an opening match of a show. And the biggest thing is, The Miz won the match. Mizdow got the pin, so Miz's stunt double wins, so by proxy, he's got a win over Sheamus going into the pay-per-view for the US title, which I really think I think Sheamus should win. So Miz and Sheamus, that'll end at Hell in the Cell, and then it should be Rusev versus Sheamus for the US title. That makes so much sense. Rusev, and then Rusev can beat Sheamus for the US title. A win over Sheamus fairly is a huge push for you, and B, just the heat Rusev would get with the US title. I think that would be fantastic. Yeah. Carry on, WWE. Triple H is in the back and Randy Orton comes to see him, and he is going to make his daddy so proud. Oh, I'm going to be really good for you, Triple H. Oh, you can trust me. And then he finds out that Seth Rollins was the one responsible for making his match, the #1 contendership match. So obviously, which is actually some quite subtle play, and they didn't even get Randy to just come out and say it. They're making Randy Orton suspect, or be suspicious of Seth Rollins, because he thinks he can't beat Brock Lesnar, but he's going to be able to beat Randy Orton if he wins. So I like this tension. It's subtly played. They're not just like, I hate you too. That could be ruined later on, but we'll see. After that was a beautiful, beautiful video package of the Wyatts. Whoever is in charge of these, bravo, sir. Bravo. These are some of the best put together video packages with editing. Amazing. I've got no idea where they're going. There's so many like rumours. I'm not listening to any. I'm just waiting for Braid to return, and we'll see who's in tow, if anyone, what's going to go on, and if he will have the power of smoke and magic. And then thirdly, we get a nice little Divas match, and it's AJ, no, yes it is, it's AJ versus Alicia Fox. Solid match. They let the Divas go longer than just a single minute. It was probably about 2, 3, 4. Solid match, just fine. Paige interfering there at the end. I thought they were about to split up Alicia and Paige. They had a bit of a shoving match, and Paige threw Alicia back in the ring, but then Paige got the distraction and Alicia got the roll up on AJ. So Paige has got all the momentum going into this match on the weekend. So, but I don't know. This title between them has gone back and forth like 4 times now. I don't think it's going to be time to switch it back again. I think AJ should go off, have a rivalry with someone else for a bit, and then come back to Paige. Because frankly, I don't really want to see many Divas on the roster with that title, apart from Paige and AJ, and that's the issue at the moment. We have a very, very fired up Randy Orton in the ring. He's going through his promo, and he is not liking the fact the crowd are ignoring him. So, local sports team is bad! Gets the reaction he wants, crowds hate him, and he's talking about 2002, him coming in, and this punk kid coming in as well, John Cena. Randy Orton really building himself up, and he is just shouting this promo. He is angry, he is fired and intense. We need this intensity from him. And then John Cena comes out, and he's sort of like, well, yo, cracker, I'm gonna yell down in the yo. So basically he's talking like his rapper self. So he's gone back to 2002. Really didn't like that. And then he's like, oh, gonna be an old man. Let's get some more of this serious promo. Cena does get there in the end. He does this comedy bit at the beginning, but then he does get into his serious promo, which is a bit better. And yeah, they're just talking about how they've sort of just had such an intense rivalry over the years, and it's really just sort of culminated. And then my client, Paul Heyman, walks out. I'm not saying Paul Heyman's my client, I'm saying that's the thing he says. Comes out of his mouth, not I'm in charge of Paul Heyman. Though, if you've got a job opening to be in charge of you... Okay, anyway. Then, segue! Back. That's not even a segue. Paul Heyman comes out, is the main thing. And frankly, this is one of the biggest disappointments of this month. I thought they should have gone with, like, Brock Lesnar beat Cena twice in a row soundly, that he's given himself a month off, and like they should have just had like pictures of him on holiday or something, just like sending messages into it, like saying, oh, watching Monday Night Raw, still can't see anyone that can come close to me, that kind of thing. At least like have just little videos from Paul Heyman just saying, oh, me and Brock Lesnar went to Disneyland this week, oh, it's so fun out of here, and I think Mickey Mouse is a more tough challenger than than John Cena is. That would have been much better. But I'm glad Paul Heyman's here now, and yeah, he does his part. He bigs up Brock Lesnar, the beast incarnate. He knows Randy Orton doesn't want any of him, really. But he does want to beat up Cena, but Cena wants it all. He wants a piece of the beast, and he wants that title back. And he's not going to get it. John Cena snaps, gets Heyman on his shoulders, but he's just too nice, puts him back down. Randy Orton, out of the hand, is out of nowhere! Takes down John Cena, and he's just prowling around the ring. He's in charge. And then they've got Paul Heyman, Orton standing there, and then just, I don't know! Big Show Rusev has been going on for a bit too long for my liking. I do want to see this match, just because I want to see the legitimacy of Rusev versus someone the size of the Big Show, and that's it. After that, I have no interest in this. Yes, Rusev. Rusev actually has a good match with Big E. Not as good as the matches they had like earlier in the year. There were some really phenomenal matches. Unfortunately, they all went far too short, but they put a lot in. Like, Big E does this crazy diving spear through the ropes to Rusev, and he sold it like a mofo. But yeah, good match. Rusev gets the win, as he should, going into a pay-per-view and looking strong. Then, Russian promo, don't like America, yep. They go to drop down the flag behind them, the true red, white, and blue, and Big Show's face appears on the thing, is like... And the friggin' genius didn't think, oh, wait a minute, maybe if I set up an American flag behind Rusev, maybe he might pull it and rip it down like I did to his flag. Oh! Ugh, you're a moron, Big Show. Yeah, stupid thing. Rusev goes to rip it down, but then some army guy... For a few seconds, I was like, ah, shit, this might be a real guy. But then... Rusev kicked him in the head, made his mouth bleed. So yeah, there's some jobber guy just to get over the importance, but I don't think that was necessary at all. They should have had like a wrestler come in and run Rusev off, or like a load of wrestlers come down and Rusev just like bail. If they'd got a load come, like, you could get Mark Henry, Big Show, like Kofi, just like all the mid-carders, leg it down to the ring. There's no shame in Rusev running away. And especially because this is the go-home show, so... This is it. This is just going to end with Rusev kicking a soldier dude. And that's it. Not the best go-home ever, but as I say, interested in the match nonetheless. It's from America! America! How dare you do something that I did earlier in the month to your flag? And then some guy got in the ring, and then you kicked him. But then when anyone else gets in the ring, wrestlers are told to like hurt them and make them go out the way. But no, because I set up this situation where this soldier got hurt, so I'm really mad. Oh, fuck off, Big Show. Big Show's an angry man, goes into the back and kicks in Rusev's locker room, but Rusev's not there, so he walks away. Anyway, on to a fun backstage segment. We've got, it pans across, you see See No Evil on the screen, and it's just Ambrose eating popcorn. Then Cena walks in, he's like, oh, just doing some research. Oh, I love Ambrose, just has such confidence and such a good personality. Let's contrast this with the segment we had of Roman Reigns a week ago, of him just going, yeah, I'm hurt, but I may get better soon with thought. Yeah. Why would that? You know Roman Reigns can't think on the fly. Just give him a pre-scripted thing to say. Just that was bad for him. But Dean Ambrose, on the other hand, just so confident, so amazing. And then calls John Cena Superman, and he is Batman. And the plan is for this handicap match is to throw punches at anything that moves, and if they try and take him down, just bring as many with them as they can. Cena likes this plan, but he doesn't think Dean Ambrose is much like Batman. He thinks he's more like the Joker. And Cecil, why so serious? It's like, this is fun. I like it. Cena and Ambrose have this sort of nice odd couple sort of mentality. They're not really partnering because they're friends. They're partnering out of necessity. Despite what's gone on between them, that's sort of settled. They don't have a reason to fight each other, and it would be stupid for them to do so, so they're not. But if the situation arises, there is going to be no qualms about just popping each other in the face. But yeah, so I'm a bit sad this is like the first time we've seen Ambrose in this time, because he definitely deserves to be on the show a lot more. We got a segment with Cena earlier. Just give us more Ambrose. More Ambrose. Brie versus Summer Rae. Again, Divas match, not bad. The 2 Diva matches on this show have not been awful. Pause. The 2 Divas match on this show have not been awful. I've actually been fairly impressed. Brie, of course, gets the win going into the match. And yeah, we're going to get, whoever wins is going to be a servant for 30 days. Bad stipulation. Just make them a servant. Don't put a 30-day limit on it, because then they've only got, like, to put up with it for 4 weeks. Which is 4 episodes of Raw, they've got to listen to them. It's not that big a deal. 4 weeks. 4 3-hour shows. Where they're on it for 5 minutes. So, they've got to be their servant for 20 minutes. Not the biggest stipulation in the world. I can't say enough how much I love Dean Ambrose, and he has 2 bags he has dragged to the ring. One contains a Seth Rollins mannequin, including hair and beard and arms in a very weird position, but he sits it nicely on a chair. The other bag contains a tool bag with various pun-related, painful objects. And he just sort of goes through what he's going to be doing to Seth Rollins. What's going to actually be happening to him in Hell in a Cell? Seth Rollins takes exception to this. And of course they sort of banter back and forth. Then the music hits. Da-da-da. No, of course not. I mean, fucking Christmas Foley. The man I thought was done with the company, especially after some of his comments earlier in the year. Looks like he always finds a way to sort of make it up with them. But, dear God, this is a fitting man to come out. And yeah, just his sort of importance in this match just adds some gravitas to this situation. And he puts it in perspective. He puts the Cell over like the monster it is. And frankly, him just walking down that ramp shows you what that Cell does. He's never not had a limp after that. Those scars, the 2 through his nose, everything he's been through, he puts the Cell over, and he puts over the Shield like the stars that they are, and they deserve to be. Mick Foley, in my opinion, is one of the goddamn best people on a microphone, and is so underrated and always forgotten when we're talking about best talkers. But he is way up there with The Rock, Jericho. He is one of the best, and he makes this segment so good, so much meaning to this match. This has got to be our main event of the Hell in a Cell. I want this match now. I just want to see... there's going to be loads of good matches I want to see at Hell in a Cell, but Jesus, I just want to get to this match. This is going to be the one. This is the breaking point for Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. This is going to be the match that makes them. Yes. We get just a random Cesaro versus Ziggler match. I don't know if this is going to be on the pay-per-view. But yeah, they just perform. They're just 2 of the best in-ring guys. It's a good match. It's a fairly short one. It's just a little tease if they're going to go for a big title match. But I don't even know if they're on the pay-per-view. But the weird finish. Cesaro wins with a European. It is a he does the European uppercut so good, but it is a fairly standard move. It's hard because like arguments can be made because JBL's finisher was a clothesline. A lot of people use a clothesline. Shawn Michaels is a super kick. Usos literally that's their only move, super kick. It's a tough one. I could see because it was literally hit out of nowhere and then went for the pin, but I do prefer a bit more of a definite finisher. Or maybe he needs to put like some sort of... Some different to that uppercut. Like, I think if he had done the one where he throws him up in the air and then Europeans him up on the way down, because that move is brutal. I think that, like, and then get a quick pin afterwards. I think that could be more better, but no. As long as these 2 continue on feuding, I'm happy. These are just going to be a string of fantastic matches, one after the other. Our main event is a tag team handicap street fight. Okay, the match itself, like, in the end it was, like, cool. The Cell got lowered down. brutal stuff going on, but the thing I cannot get past, why the hell were they tagging? If they weren't tagging, what could the ref have done? It was no DQ. So, they're not allowed to not tag, but they can lower a friggin' Hell in the Cell? Oh, that just really annoyed me for the whole match, but despite that, there were cool moments. There was just basically a teaser of what we're going to be getting on Sunday, and I'm very excited. And then the biggest swerve. Yeah, Russo, other people can do swerves, we're not just being stupid. Curb stomp to Randy Orton after he pins Dean Ambrose. Yeah, so I do not know where we're going to go. I really want Randy Orton to beat Cena, so we've got a fresh match of Randy Orton versus Brock Lesnar. But they are really pushing Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins. I hope they are happy delaying that. Have Brock Lesnar versus Orton. Have, like, Rollins interfere and screw Orton, and then that could be a more intense rivalry. But then if those two are going together, the number 1 and 2 heels in the company, what does that leave for the 1 and 2 face? What's Dean Ambrose and Cena going to do? Unless they're going to fight for a number 1 contendership for, like, the next shot against Brock Lesnar. Yeah, things are very topsy-turvy in the world of the WWE. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. I thought this was really good Raw overall. There were Diva segments, and they were actually just good, legitimate matches. They weren't just awful, no total divas. We got a random appearance from Mick Foley. All matches were fair, really good quality. Setting up for Hell in the Cell. Good Raw. Tell me what you think they did well, what they did wrong, and what you're really looking forward to going into Hell in the Cell. And until next time, like, subscribe, visit my Facebook page thingy, and I think I might need to start doing stuff on a Twitter. I hear there's this thing called Twitter. I do have one. I tried using it once and then Twitter insulted me, so I didn't use it again. But, yes. Until then, TT, F, and N.